Hello, I am Wallas, the Polish toy guy. Thank you for tuning into my video. Today I'm going to review a toy from 1992, Transformers Generation 1 TurboMaster Boss. TurboMasters were an interesting phenomenon back in the times of Generation 1 because they were one of the few subgroups that were never released in the United States of America by Hasbro, because from what I read, the missiles did not meet the safety standards of that time, so this is one of these very few times where Europe actually got something that USA did not. Usually it's the other way around, and despite me being an European and part of me considering this a small victory on our side, I do find it a shame because I think fans of Transformers all over the world deserve to have first contact with these guys. Boss is a good indication of what the entire TurboMaster subgroup represents in its theme. Mostly car-based, super-powered alt modes that are great to look at and actually a bit of fun to play with. And Boss is really a nice car, all blue with some yellow accents both from plastic and from paint, and it kind of looks like a pale blue Batmobile variation. Many people compare him to that kind of vehicle and I can see the resemblance. As you can see, there's also some nice detailing, although not too much, and I have to admit my piece is missing a few of these white beige stickers. Not that it really takes away the visual experience. This is a cool looking car, especially with this huge turbine engine in front and those two missiles attached to its spoiler. I also like the clear headlights, the clear windows. This just looks like fun. And like many fun little cars, Boss can freely roll on the floor thanks to his wheels being separate pieces of plastic. And because he is assigned to fight off Decepticons that turn into fighter planes, he has a gimmick where his main weapon, the turbine engine with this third missile, can go up like this so that he can aim at enemies that are above him. And that looks slightly silly, but it does seem practical. He can fight planes without leaving ground himself. While we are discussing that matter, let's see how far the missile Boss has in his engine will go. So we will press this blue little trigger, and what will happen is, I admit, fairly impressive. This is a really powerful spring given the size of the missile and the mechanism. It flies like a wonder. No wonder that it's actually considered a safety hazard in some parts of the world. I imagine if some kid did the say at the wrong moment, this really could be lethal. Especially that, these are small, but they do have really nice design. Nothing over sophisticated, but it does look eye-catching, and as you can see, there's a little slit on each of them, so they can be mounted on the spoiler no matter which missile we want to use, and thanks to this little slit, these missiles can also be mounted on every other TurboMaster you may have. Well, Thunderclash aside, he has his own separate weapon gimmick, but still 5 out of 6 is a nice score. And with the missile out of the way, let's get a better look at this clear plastic turbine bit inside the engine. This looks really nice. And now it's comparison time, so first off, here's Boss next to Generation 2 Laser Rod / Eliminator, Electro and Masterpiece Smokescreen. And here we have Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe / Revealer Bumblebee and Generations Deluxe Blur. And to give you something that is not a Transformer, here is the vehicle mode of Niervesh Type 0 from SD Infinity Eureka 7 and Slicer / Throwbot Turbo aka City Slicer. And with that done, we can now transform Boss into his robot mode, which is simple but fun. So first we go to the back and we swing the rear section, aka the legs, 180 degrees, like so. This will actually release the locks on the arms, which we can now pull outward, like so. And that will allow us to separate the engine block from the rest of the toy. And now we can spin the legs. Now we can bend this part of the car like so. And this will allow us to flip the windows of the cockpit like so. And the final touch is flip out the head from the back of the toy. We have a little peg over here which we can use to jam our fingernails into to make the head swing easier, like so, and it will click into position if we actually manage to get it here, like so. And now Boss's robot mode is complete. And Boss in robot mode is what you pretty much expect from the majority of G1 toys. A blocky robot that has little to no articulation but a lot of charm and, again, a vibe of fun to it. Again, most of the frame is blue. Now we have also darker blue accents on the thighs and at the shoulders. And we have this really nice head which has a different design on the artwork, but this faceplate and separate eyes work fine for me. And we also have light piping, which does work rather nice. Yes, definitely that looks good. And again, as you can see, my stickers have seen way better days in the past. And like many Transformer toys, not much is going on the back, but we don't have all that much kibble over here, and if we actually do something with the arms, we can appreciate some nice details over here, and also production information from Takara over here, and Hasbro, yes, Takara 91, made in China, Hasbro. It's actually a good place to put this kind of information in. And yes, this is all of the articulation you will get out of this toy, but I admit when the arms are swung forward, I do like to bend this one position up. I just find it slightly better to look at. And yes, I know this toy reminds people a lot about the modern age drift and blurs designs from Generations, and I've seen few customs of people who actually turned their versions of those guys into Boss, and that actually works, I think. And here we have Boss's gun. When it's used in robot mode, as you can see, it will go into either of his hands, and it can be connected either through the main handle designed for this mode, or through these pegs that we used to connect it to vehicle mode. And let's take a better look at all of these nice details that it has. I really like the molding on this weapon. Definitely part gun, part engine. It works really well for me. And now it's comparison time again. First with some other G1 toys. So here we have Light Former Iron Fist, and here we have the Mega TurboMaster Rotor Storm. And here we have some more modern Transformer toys, that is Reveal the Shield Deluxe Special Ops Jazz, Generations Deluxe Drift, and Titan's Return Deluxe Hardhead. And for real life size reference, here we have a typical DVD case, the marvelous €1, the magnificent $1, and the common cola can. To sum it all up, G1 TurboMaster Boss is a fun little toy that may not have much to offer in terms of gimmicks, with only its spring-loaded weapon to count as an action feature, but which does charm me with its overall design and aesthetics that gives a promise of wonderful display both on its own and when gathered with the rest of the TurboMasters. Also, the fact that this was one of the European exclusive Transformer toys may be an added bonus to some collectors, though for me, Boss fully defends his purchase worthiness even with that factor removed from the equation. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be more reviews of older Transformers and other toys coming soon. In the meantime, it would be great if you could give this video a thumbs up or maybe even subscribe to my channel if you're interested in that kind of content, which other examples of can be viewed by clicking on those smaller moving pictures. I'll be back with the next video soon, and until then, thank you for watching and stay well.